A mild start this early morning, getting into chilly conditions as we go through sunrise, though. Then we get into a chance of light rainfall, maybe a little snow. More than that, just a moment.
Right now this morning, the American death toll in the Middle East is climbing, the latest on the war in Iran. And the La Crosse JNA voting on two important items today, the changes coming to your neighborhood ahead. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this Tuesday, March 3rd is just about 6 a.m. Hope your morning is off to a good start. We will get a check on our weather first thing with meteorologist Art Jarrett. Art, what are you tracking out there for us today?
I tell you, my friend, it looks pretty impressive, but I tell you what, the 4 o'clock hour all the way to the 5 o'clock hour was supposed to be the most impressive, and now that is done. We're going to hold on to this. It's a light batch of ice as well as snowfall and, of course, rainfall. Now that has kind of moved through the region, and most of it which did not really hit the ground. So we're not looking at a lot of ice accumulation at all. So the impacts are pretty minimal. We'll get into that for your commute this morning. You can see right there by areas right by Eau Claire, all the way across the river, getting into the possibility of, again, some ice associated with that as well. Maybe even a little freezing drizzle associated with that as well. That, too, is now gone. We'll take a look down to Prairie du Chien, where they had some good-looking rainfall. It turned from snow to ice to at least some more rainfall, and that, too, is starting to continue to weaken gradually. So let's get into the forecast. You'll see up by Eau Claire, not much of this really affected you at all, except for the clouds associated with that and the colder air or the chillier air. You're looking at 30s widespread in the forecast. These temperatures are much warmer than we had over the last couple of days as well. So we're looking at least some 40s in your forecast today with sunshine on the way as well. It'll be about 46 degrees on your skin, though. It'll be a little bit cooler on your skin. Holding on to La Crosse, looking at least some cloudier skies, getting into the day, then turning into some sunshine, then getting away to 45 degrees. That will feel like 45 degrees on your skin. As far as snow is concerned, you had a little bit of blip right there. I've got it kind of scoped right there. You can see maybe an inch or less in the forecast, and I'm going to say that's probably about maybe a couple of hundredths of an inch at all. 0.0, I should say a tenth of an inch or less as far as rain is concerned. And as we get into how this all shapes up for your day, highs will be in the 40s widespread. You're looking at least up to at least 48 degrees out there. And as we go into it, milder conditions with light winds. When I return, I'll have your full forecast coming up to show you what's going to happen, and stick around. I'll let you know where the rainfall is going to be.
Thank you, Art. Breaking news on the growing conflict in the Middle East as the war enters its fourth day. We'll take a live look at Capitol Hill this morning. President Trump set to brief lawmakers on the conflict today. U.S. Central Command says new strikes have hit key Iranian military sites, but Iran is hitting back. At least 6 U.S. service members have now been killed. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn reports.
Blasts rocked Tehran early Tuesday. The Pentagon says U.S. forces destroyed Iranian military command facilities, airfields, and missile and drone launch sites. Overnight, suspected Iranian missiles were shot down over Doha, while Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said Iranian drones struck the U.S. embassy in Riyadh, causing minor damage.
The hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military.
Monday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned the next phase of operations will be even more punishing for Iran. He held a briefing with lawmakers that some Democrats say sparked more questions than answers.
This is Trump's war. This is a war of choice. He has no strategy. He has no end game.
President Trump defended the strikes in a letter to Congress obtained by CBS News, arguing, quote, the threat to the United States and its allies became untenable.
This was our last best chance to strike.
The president says operations will continue until Iran's missile capabilities, nuclear ambitions, and Navy are all destroyed.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
The president added in a lengthy social media post overnight that U.S. munitions stockpiles have, quote, never been higher, and that wars can be fought forever using those supplies. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
This morning, U.S. embassies across the Middle East are shutting down. Saudi Arabia and Israel's embassies are closed today. Kuwait's is closed indefinitely. 3rd District Congressman Derek Van Orden defending the strikes, calling this the end of a 47-year war, not the start of a new one. But he says there is one line he won't cross.
I do not want to see American men and women in uniform doing sustained combat operations in these foreign countries. I don't. I also do not want these folks to be able to project power throughout the entire world through their proxies.
Not everyone agrees. Potential 3rd District challengers are speaking out. Emily Berge calls the strikes illegal, saying they endanger American soldiers and help no one. Rebecca Cook says the conflict breaks a major promise to the country and will make life more expensive for working families. Wisconsin National Guard troops are in the Middle East. News 8 Now's JDS McGee explains what they're doing there.
Defense officials confirm Wisconsin Army National Guard units are operating in Kuwait and Iraq under U.S. Central Command.
The integrated reserve and National Guard forces have continued to demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq.
While mission specifics have not been disclosed, former military leaders say Guard units often provide support, helping broader military operations in the region.
There may be support units, which in the military means that you are supporting the infantry, the artillery, the armor, the aviation. You're keeping those folks up and running, supplying them with beans, bullets, and gas.
As for how long Guard members could remain overseas, leaders say deployments are typically structured, but they can change depending on conditions.
Typically, those tours are 9 months, but they can be extended for the convenience of the governments. I think the best possible outcome would be that Israel and the United States do a few more, several more days of bombing, and we declare victory and walk away. How likely that is, it's really hard to say.
Reporting in La Crosse, JDS McGee, News 8 Now this morning.
According to former leaders, Wisconsin sent 2 battalions to Kuwait, which is about 650 soldiers total. You can stick with News 8 Now online and on air for continuing coverage of the U.S. attack on Iran. Developing now, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem set to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee today. It's tied to the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. Democrats have threatened to support a vote to impeach Noem, which they can trigger without any GOP support. Hours of newly released video show former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton answering questions about Jeffrey Epstein. The former president says he met Epstein while flying on his private jet for Clinton Foundation trips, but says he knew nothing about Epstein's crimes.
Were there anybody on the flights that you can recall under age 18?
To the best of my knowledge, there was not.
Did you witness anything unusual with Epstein that would lead you to believe that Epstein was creepy?
No, I never saw him do anything that I was suspicious of.
Hillary Clinton said she did not recall ever meeting Epstein and grew frustrated when she learned a committee member had posted a photo of her from inside the closed-door session. She also said President Trump should face questions from the committee under oath about his involvement with Epstein. The Trump administration is dropping its legal fight against 4 law firms. The firms, which had lawyers who previously opposed or investigated Trump, were targeted by the administration to lose access to the federal government. Federal judges in Washington blocked those efforts. The administration is now backing down. Happening today, La Crosse Common Council voting on a $2 million purchase. A resolution would allow the city to buy the Radisson Center on 2nd Street, right next to the La Crosse Center. The agreement includes a deed restriction that blocks the site from becoming a hotel or restaurant. Also today, the JNA voting to tighten tobacco product sales. The new ordinance would update local law to match state law, mostly enforcing the minimum age of 21 to buy or possess tobacco products. It'll also spell out where and when cigarettes, vaping devices, and other products can be sold. The JNA also voting on what to do with the old Kmart on the south side. The City Planning Commission unanimously approved replacing the site with the Copper Rocks apartment complex. Today's vote could rezone the property from a local business district to a planned development district.
We're excited about this project. This is a legacy project for the community of La Crosse, and so we recognize that it's taken some time. That's basically been based on circumstances outside of our control. So we've had to respond to that and react to that and pivot to get to a point where we can move this forward.
The Common Council could vote on the plan next week. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, a major retailer pulling some of your favorite cereals. What's changing and when? And a cat food recall is growing. If you have this brand at home, check your freezer. We'll have the details ahead. Plus, how the war in the Middle East is impacting prices at the pump here at home.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse delivers everything your business needs, from cleaning supplies to appliances. Get what you need when you need it. Set up your business account today and let Ace of La Crosse do the heavy lifting.
Better hearing is a better life.
The service at Better Hearing Center couldn't be better. I know I have called many times and they always say, well, come on in. The Audibel hearing aid that I have is remarkable. I don't have any feedback. I don't even know if I'm wearing them. I have to feel to make sure I put them on in the morning because they're so comfortable. I highly recommend Better Hearing Center.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main on Alaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
When is Westby Creamery cottage cheese more than cottage cheese? When you turn it into a rich, creamy, high-protein frozen treat or irresistible high-protein donut hole bites. When is Westby Creamery French onion dip for more than potato chips? When it becomes not grandma's potato salad or flaky, savory French onion puff pastry rolls. There are so many fresh ideas waiting for your next get-together or those days you just need something quick and easy. For more recipes and inspiration, visit westbycreamery.com and click on the Recipes tab.
I met my abuser when I was 10. He was my Sunday school teacher. At 18, I was pressured to marry him. Chris Taylor was the first person to stand up for me. She worked with both parties and with law enforcement to pass laws to protect survivors like me. Chris listened, and my abuser went to prison. On the Supreme Court, Judge Chris Taylor will continue to protect Wisconsin.
Judge Chris Taylor, protecting our rights, defending our freedoms.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon. An international sensation. But you haven't heard them.
Order your tickets now for Stomp, Saturday, March 21st and Sunday, March 22nd at the Viterbo University Fine Arts Center, 608-796-3100, or online at viterbofineartscenter.com.
At Sealands Carpetland, your family comes first. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners in creating a home that lasts a lifetime. Discover a world of comfort and durability with our huge selection. Whether it's cozy carpeting for your living room, timeless hardwood for a classic touch, or versatile tiles that stand up to the hustle and bustle of family life. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. Our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse is the helpful place with the products your business needs when you need it. We service businesses of all sizes. Ask about volume discounts. Contact Jim to set up your service account today.
In your morning consumer news, Target is pulling cereals with artificial dyes from its shelves. The move comes by end of May as food companies face pressure from both the Trump administration and shoppers who are increasingly scrutinizing what's in their food. And a cat food recall this morning. Go Raw pulling this Quest cat food chicken recipe from freezers, 2-pound bags with Best By dates of May 17th or June 16th of next year. The issue is low levels of thiamine. That is an essential nutrient for cats. Americans in the Middle East are being told to get out this morning. The State Department urging U.S. citizens in more than a dozen countries to leave immediately. Secretary of State Marco Rubio addressed Americans in the region on social media as embassies in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait remain closed. And the war in the Middle East is hitting gas prices. Oil surged Monday as fighting disrupts the Strait of Hormuz. That's the passage where about 20% of the world's oil supply flows. Jen Sullivan explains what that means at the pump.
As markets opened Monday, stocks plummeted. Oil prices surged more than 6%. These numbers giving the first glimpse of how escalating tensions in the Middle East could impact the U.S. economy.
That geopolitical price premium can go up or down based on what's happening in the rest of the world.
Mason Hamilton with the American Petroleum Institute says gas prices are already up. For the first time this year, the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline is at $3, according to AAA. Saturday, the U.S. and Israel launched a massive and coordinated attack on Iran.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat.
In response, Iran has launched a wave of retaliatory strikes on U.S. military bases, targets in Israel, and across the Middle East. The violence is disrupting oil shipments. This tanker struck in the Strait of Hormuz by a U.S. missile, according to Iranian state media.
The oil tankers are not going through it as missiles are flying. And in fact, we've got reports of at least 4 tankers that have diverted away or are dropping anchor.
The Strait of Hormuz is a major shipping route. Roughly 20 million barrels of oil pass through there a day. That's about 20% of the world's oil consumption.
Some crude oil can leave this region via pipeline, but it's the equivalent of trying to push a watermelon through a golf hose. It's not enough, and there's too much trying to go through too little of a route.
Hamilton says as long as this violence continues, gas prices will remain high. But it's too early to predict just how much more consumers will be paying for gas. I'm Jen Sullivan.
U.S. stocks did rebound at the close of the market, erasing earlier losses, but oil prices remaining high. Let's look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got an update on the weather.
All right, our lows right now are in the low 30s to around, again, to the middle 30s in the forecast. Giving way to this, though, as we get into it here. Drier conditions will ensue later on to portions of today with some sunshine, but first we have a little bit of light rainfall that's out there. You notice that you don't see anything showing up for La Crosse nor Eau Claire. A lot of that's not even hitting the ground. A lot of it is trying to get to the ground, but not really affecting us. It was about a 30% chance. Now it's pretty much done. You're seeing some of that all the way down towards Prairie du Chien as well, and that too is starting to work out of the forecast right now. We'll get into it. As you can see, some of that was supposed to be a little mix of rain as well as snowfall and ice, and that was going to bring in some freezing drizzle possibly for that as well. Now it's kind of moving out as we go to the 9 o'clock hour. We have a little bit of light rainfall trying to get down to the ground, but most of that will be just a light sprinkle to a shower or so. Then another batch comes by Prairie du Chien as well as Boscobel and getting into Richland Center, and then heads out to Madison. It shrinks down. Clouds start to increase later on as we go into Wednesday. As we go to the midnight hour, we'll see temperatures back in the 30s again. Then once we get into it, cloudier skies prevail. Going back into the afternoon, by noon, we're looking at least some mostly sunny skies coming up with those winds coming out of the west-southeast and then kind of moving, I should say, the east-southeast, kind of working through the area slowly but surely. We'll get right back into Wednesday as you go into the noon hour. You're going to be seeing the nighttime hours. You're going to be seeing more rainfall trying to get down to the south, a little light rainfall possible. It's about a 20 to 30% chance of that happening. And then once it gets into it, fills in all the way to the day through Thursday. We're looking at a 30% chance in the afternoon, holding on to at least a little bit of that moisture. You can see it's in the morning right now, holding on to that from light rainfall from areas by Boscobel to Prairie du Chien and Viroqua, getting into areas right by Eau Claire, as well as light rainfall by Black River Falls with a mix. Drier air comes back again for Thursday. Once we get in the remainder of the day, we're holding on to a low chance of any type of rainfall, which is a 30% chance. Then we'll go into how this all plays out. Everybody's getting into the sunshine today. Some folks are showing some rainfall, but I like to say, where is all this happening? We'll get right back into Sparta, drier conditions for you there. And to La Crosse, you have a little bit of freezing rainfall there. And then getting back into areas up to the north, Osseo is drier, as well as Eau Claire. Getting back into a partly cloudy skies in your forecast. Ladysmith at 46 degrees. I don't know if you guys have noticed our new graphics here, holding on to some of these right now. These fonts are a lot different. You're holding on to milder conditions today as well. You're looking at widespread 40s today, possibly getting to the forecast to near 50 degrees. Once we roll in how this all shapes up, we're having the nighttime planner. Not much happening here, as you can see, from 8 o'clock all the way into decreasing clouds with sunshine coming into the morning for tomorrow. Then, as you can see it here, going right back into Eau Claire. Similar conditions with a few clouds holding on to the possibility of that. Once we get in the 8 o'clock hour, then those clouds increase. We'll get into at least some cloudier skies, mostly cloudy skies going to the early morning hours for you there. Highs for Wednesday, you're looking at, once again, temperatures from 48, those upper 40s to the low 50s to middle 50s down to the south. Richland Center getting to 55 degrees, 52 for Prairie du Chien, and over there in La Crosse, 53 degrees, 54 in Eau Claire. Once again, Eau Claire is going to get warmer than us today by Wednesday. We'll hold on how this all shapes up as we go through the next few days here. You've got the 40s, the 50s, and then more 40s by Thursday going into your Friday, where you're looking at 50s returning all the way through Saturday. 60s come back again for Sunday going into Monday, possibly as well. Then we'll see more rainfall coming in for Tuesday of next week.
Thank you for that, Art. As you start to wake up, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with Honolulu, Hawaii. Still the dead of night in Honolulu, but the lights are shining bright. Stay with us. Your morning Sports Blitz is coming up.
Coming up in sports, the madness is here. The NCAA Division III basketball brackets are out, and both UWL teams are going dancing. Hear from both squads coming up in the Morning Blitz.
At Top Dog Retreat in West Salem, your pup isn't just boarded, they're pampered. From tail wagging daycare to cozy overnight stays, we treat every dog like our own. Safe, clean, and full of fun. Book today at booktopdog.com. Top Dog Retreat, a bark above the rest.
In 1969, Taco John's combined Western traditions with Mexican flavors and created West Mex. More than 50 years later, it still tastes like a good idea. Get crispy tacos for just $1.39 every Taco Tuesday, only at Taco John's.
We are the Dillos. We are from Northern Kentucky. Being out in a rural area, coverage is pretty hit and miss with other carriers, so switching to T-Mobile solved a lot of problems that we had.
I'm able to use T-Satellite now. We've got coverage no matter where we're at.
America's best network meets off-the-grid satellite coverage with T-Satellite. And now switch to T-Mobile and get free phones for $0 down. Plus 4 lines for only $25 per month per line.
Better service, better price, win-win.
Oakleaf Surgical Hospital has always been dedicated to delivering exceptional care close to home. Now we're expanding that commitment with River Prairie Surgery Center, opening in early 2026 in Altoona. This new outpatient campus extends Oakleaf's trusted surgical excellence into a modern, convenient setting designed for faster recovery, enhanced comfort, and more affordable care for our patients. Together, Oakleaf Surgical Hospital and River Prairie Surgery Center are strengthening access to high-quality care across Western Wisconsin today and for the future.
Get the lowest prices of the year during sales fair at Nelson Agri Center, Friday, March 13th through Saturday, March 21st. Get huge savings on Milwaukee Power Tools. Stock up on paint with our buy one, get one specials. We'll have deals on fencing, gates, seeds, and more for your farm. Plus, get an $8 store credit towards already low prices with the junk battery trade-in sale. Thousands of items will be on sale at the lowest prices of the year at Nelson Agri Center, downtown Viroqua.
At Top Dog Retreat in West Salem, we've got it all. Playful daycare, cozy overnight boarding, and a boutique full of treats, toys, and gear. Your pup gets love, care, and plenty of tail-wagging fun, and you get peace of mind. Top Dog Retreat, a bark above the rest.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm with current conditions and updated video forecasts from the local team that warns you first. The News 8 Now First Warn Weather app, giving you more than what you'd expect. Get it now. No, seriously, like, right now. News 8 Now Sports.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. It's March, and that means the college basketball postseason is here. Yesterday was the Division III selection show for both men's and women's basketball. And with both UWL teams winning their conference tournament, it was only a matter of time before their names were called. The men's selection show was first, and it wouldn't take too long before the team saw their name pop up on the screen. But to add to the excitement, the UWL men are a host team, which means the first 2 rounds will be played at Mitchell Hall. The Eagles will be taking on Hope College in the opening round, a team that went 18-9 in the regular season. UWL, of course, coming off of an exciting Elite 8 run in the last year's D3 tournament, so this team is no stranger to the postseason.
The home advantage should be good. Last year we dealt with that twice, so it should be really fun. I think that's something that we were striving for, and we're just all excited about that.
We were 1-4, so we've kind of been playing like back against the wall the whole season, knowing that our season could be over if we don't find a way to win some games. So I think that pressure is good for us, and it's kind of helped us get to where we are. At the end of the day, everybody you play at this time of year is good, and you got to focus on yourself and just kind of be the best version of you can.
So as I mentioned, UWL will face Hope College in that opening round. On the other side of the pod, Claremont Mudscripts is taking on Aurora. So if the Eagles get a win on Friday, they'll face the winner of that one on Saturday. Then the women waited their turn. They're also guaranteed a spot after winning their first ever WIAC tournament championship over the weekend. The UWL women facing off against LaGrange in the first round. That one set to be played at Carroll University in Waukesha, but how about their head coach, Moran Lonning? After giving birth last Sunday, she helped lead the Eagles to that conference championship, and now they're into the tournament for the 2nd straight year.
If people know me, they probably figured that's what I was going to do, but if I was going to be needed with Max, I would have stepped back, but the real MVP is my husband, who was hanging out with Max in my office and in the 80s office at Oshkosh. You know, with MPI, we knew we had a good shot, but then beating Oshkosh, we knew we were automatically in. So just a different feeling this year, and just exciting.
UW will face LaGrange at 5:15 this Friday. The second game in the pod will be Carroll University facing DePauw. The winners playing on Saturday. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Orange Days have arrived at Ashley. This week only, get massive savings with Doorbuster starting at just $249 and pay 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. Plus, free white glove delivery. Orange Days at Ashley, March 3rd through 9th. It's deals, it's major, it's now.
Are you ready to build your future? Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor is hiring and wants you to apply. The starting wage for laborers is up to $21 per hour with no experience necessary. We will train the right candidate. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
If you have a crack like this, well, you have a problem. Today I'm learning how a cracked wall might mean your foundation is sinking.
It always points towards the area where it's sinking. For example, this corner here, we're down almost a full inch of drop.
Right, so that's going down and that's causing the crack.
Correct. And then this door, they don't even use that door anymore. It cannot open.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
If you're turning 65 or about to go on Medicare, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. These are important decisions and it can feel heavy. With all the plan letters and options, many people worry about making the wrong choice or missing something important. You don't have to face that alone. We'll help you find the plan that fits your health needs, your budget, and your life. We're conveniently located in the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse, and best of all, our services are completely free. Call Strive today.
When is Westby Creamery cottage cheese more than cottage cheese? When you turn it into a rich, creamy, high-protein frozen treat or irresistible high-protein donut hole bites. When is Westby Creamery French onion dip for more than potato chips? When it becomes not grandma's potato salad or flaky, savory French onion puff pastry rolls. There are so many fresh ideas waiting for your next get-together or those days you just need something quick and easy. For more recipes and inspiration, visit westbycreamery.com and click on the Recipes tab.
Better hearing is a better life.
The service at Better Hearing Center couldn't be better. I know I have called many times and they always say, well, come on in. The Audibel hearing aid that I have is remarkable. I don't have any feedback. I don't even know if I'm wearing them. I have to feel to make sure I put them on in the morning because they're so comfortable. I highly recommend Better Hearing Center.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main on Alaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
This week only at Ashley's Orange Days. Get massive savings with Doorbuster starting at just $249 and get 25% off one item plus 20% off on the rest of your purchase. Or 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. Only at Ashley's Orange Days. The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
Morning rainfall in the forecast, trying to get there for you right now to see where it is and where it's going to be. More about that in just a moment.
Right now, this morning, the American death toll in the Middle East is climbing, the latest on the war in Iran. And the La Crosse JNA voting on two important items today, the changes that could be coming to your neighborhood. And a Coon Valley Church is hosting a dinner filled with vintage recipes, how you can join in coming up. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this Tuesday, March 3rd, it is 6:28. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We will get started with a check on our weather with meteorologist Art Jarrett. Art, what are you seeing out there this morning?
Well, right now, holding on to areas over at Tomah, they've been getting a little bit of wet on the roadways there, and as well as portions near Black River Falls, so we'll keep an eye on them. Right now, though, I'm going back to where we had some snowfall going towards areas by La Crosse. We had some ice, we had some snow, we also had a mix of rain rain and snow, or you want to call it freezing drizzle, you want to call it that. That was a possibility, and then that's now gone. We'll take it down to Prairie du Chien, where we had some ice as well. That moved over by areas by, Richland Center, getting into farther south as well. Boscobel picked up some of that, and then Madison. We had that rainfall over Prairie du Chien, and now it's pretty much gone. You can see the snowfall up there going towards Viroqua as well as getting into Boscobel. Then we had rainfall for Prairie du Chien. All of that kind of moved a little bit down to the south and east out of the region, and eventually you can see Boscobel picked up a little bit of that snowfall as well. Now the winds are coming up out of the southeast. We're also taking a look here as you get into Black River Falls. Their roads are a little bit on the drier side by now, but a little bit kind of kicks up as that trucks go by. You can see by areas right by Toma, they had the wet on the roadways there. You can see that right now with some of the reflection on the ground. And then of course we get right back into Dubuque. I wanted to show you this because some of this they picked up a little bit of mix as well. You can see on the little wall out there in the distance, they picked up a light flurry or two there as well. So we get into how this all shapes up. The impact for our local commute is there. It's really not really happening right now because we're not getting anything down to the ground, so we're not getting into those icy spots out there currently. As we go into the remainder of the day, sunshine will prevail after cloudier skies, and it will feel a little bit cooler on your skin, so prepare yourself for that. As you get back into it today, we're looking at least 45 degrees for La Crosse with sunshine on the way.
Thank you, Art. Breaking news on the growing conflict in the Middle East. The war now in day 4. We'll take a live look at Capitol Hill this morning. President Trump getting ready to brief lawmakers on the conflict today. U.S. Central Command now says new strikes have hit key Iranian military sites, but Iran is hitting back. At least 6 U.S. service members have now been killed. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn with the latest.
Blasts rocked Tehran early Tuesday. The Pentagon says U.S. forces destroyed Iranian military command facilities, airfields, and missile and drone launch sites. Overnight, suspected Iranian missiles were shot down over Doha, while Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said Iranian drones struck the U.S. embassy in Riyadh, causing minor damage.
The hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military.
Monday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned the next phase of operations will be even more punishing for Iran. He held a briefing with lawmakers that some Democrats say sparked more questions than answers.
This is Trump's war. This is a war of choice. He has no strategy. He has no end game.
President Trump defended the strikes in a letter to Congress obtained by CBS News, arguing, quote, the threat to the United States and its allies became untenable.
This was our last best chance to strike.
The president says operations will continue until Iran's missile capabilities, nuclear ambitions, and Navy are all destroyed.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
The president added in a lengthy social media post overnight that U.S. munitions stockpiles have, quote, never been higher, and that wars can be fought forever using those supplies. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
This morning, U.S. embassies across the Middle East are shutting down. Saudi Arabia and Israel's embassies are closed today. Kuwait's is closed indefinitely. 3rd District Congressman Derek Van Orden defending the strikes, calling this the end of a 47-year war, not the start of a new one. But he says there is one line he won't cross.
I do not want to see American men and women in uniform doing sustained combat operations in these foreign countries. I don't. I also do not want these folks to be able to project power throughout the entire world through their proxies.
Not everyone agrees. Potential 3rd District challengers speaking out. Emily Berge calling the strikes illegal, saying they endanger American soldiers and help no one. Rebecca Cook says the conflict breaks a major promise to the country and will make life more expensive for working families. Wisconsin National Guard troops are in the Middle East. News 8 Now's JDS McGee explains what they're helping with.
Defense officials confirm Wisconsin Army National Guard units are operating in Kuwait and Iraq under U.S. Central Command.
The integrated reserve and National Guard forces have continued to demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq.
While mission specifics have not been disclosed, former military leaders say Guard units often provide support, helping broader military operations in the region.
There may be support units, which in the military means that you are supporting the infantry, the artillery, the armor, the aviation, you're keeping those folks up and running, supplying them with beans, bullets, and gas.
As for how long Guard members could remain overseas, leaders say deployments are typically structured, but they can change depending on conditions.
Typically, those tours are 9 months, but they can be extended for the convenience of the governments. I think the best possible outcome would be that Israel and the United States do a few more, several more days of bombing, and we declare victory and walk away. How likely that is, it's really hard to say.
Reporting in La Crosse, Jadis McGee, News 8 Now this morning.
According to officials, Wisconsin sent 2 battalions to Kuwait. That's about 650 soldiers. Stick with News 8 Now online and on air for continuing coverage of the U.S. attack on Iran. And developing now, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem set to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee today. It's tied to the fatal shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. Democrats have threatened to support a vote to impeach Noem, which they can trigger without any GOP support. Hours of newly released video show former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton answering questions about Jeffrey Epstein. The former president said he met Epstein while flying on his private jet for Clinton Foundation trips, but he says he knew nothing about Epstein's crimes.
Were there anybody on the flights that you can recall under age 18?
To the best of my knowledge, there was not.
Did you witness anything unusual with Epstein that would lead you to believe that Epstein was creepy?
No, I never saw him do anything that I was suspicious of.
Hillary Clinton said she did not recall ever meeting Epstein and grew frustrated when she learned a committee member had posted a photo of her from inside the closed-door session. She also said President Trump should face questions from the committee under oath about his involvement with Epstein. The Trump administration dropping its legal fight against 4 law firms. The firms, which had lawyers who previously opposed or investigated Trump, were targeted by the administration to lose access to the federal government. Federal judges in Washington blocked those efforts. The administration is now backing down. Happening today, La Crosse's Common Council voting on a $2 million purchase. A resolution would allow the city to buy the Radisson Center on 2nd Street, right next to the La Crosse Center. The agreement includes a deed restriction that blocks the site from becoming a hotel or restaurant. Also today, the J&A voting to tighten tobacco product sales. The new ordinance would update local law to match state law, mostly enforcing the minimum age of 21 to buy or possess tobacco products. It'll also spell out where and when cigarettes, vaping devices, and other products can be sold. The J&A also voting on what to do with the old Kmart on the south side. The City Planning Commission unanimously approved replacing the site with the Copper Rocks apartment complex. Today's vote could rezone the property from a local business district to a planned development district.
We're excited about this project. This is a legacy project for the community of La Crosse, and so we recognize that it's taken some time. That's basically been based on circumstances outside of our control. So we've had to respond to that and react to that and pivot to get to a point where we can move this forward.
The Common Council could vote on the plan next week. March is Sleep Awareness Month, a month-long campaign dedicated to educating the public about the critical importance of quality sleep. It coincides with the start of daylight saving time. Yeah, that's coming up, highlighting how time change affects sleep. Dominic Garcia reports.
When it comes to sleep quality, most people are living a nightmare.
We're sleeping less than we ever have before.
Dr. Kenneth Rowe is a sleep expert who says lack of sleep can be devastating when it comes to your hormones.
It's a huge deal. I mean, lack of sleep will increase cortisol, and that's going to automatically blunt testosterone and estrogen.
And for people entering their 30s and 40s, sleep is something you need to start thinking about.
You've got kids, you got jobs, you're running life. What are we doing now to relax? And, you know, most of the times we're relaxing with technology or playing games or, you know, catching up on the news.
Okay, so what can you do? Dr. Rowe says the first step is actually when you wake up.
It's kind of funny. The best sleep starts in the morning. You know, if you're exposed to morning sunshine, that creates a circadian rhythm. You know, the best sleep starts with a consistent wake time.
And cut out screens at least an hour before bed. And it's not just because of the light they give off.
Oh, it's the excitement. It's the stimulation. You know, if you just had the blue light issue, we can We found out it's about 30% of the impact.
Bottom line, you need to prioritize sleep if you want to live the dream.
You don't really put it in the forefront of your health. You know, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll just, I'll catch up to it on the weekend. You hear that all the time, and it's really detrimental to your health.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Maxine is 8 days old. Her family is happy to have her in their lives.
So cute. And our coworker Joe is 43. He's been at the company for 20 years, and we are lucky to have him. Happy birthday, Joe.
Birthday, Jill. All right, Pat is 58. He owns and operates his own business and loves fishing.
All right, got a big catch there. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
Well, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button or the Home tab on our website.
Coming up, Coon Valley Church is hosting a dinner filled with vintage recipes. We'll tell you how you can join in just ahead.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse delivers everything your business needs, from cleaning supplies to appliances. Get what you need when you need it. Set up your business account today and let Ace of La Crosse do the heavy lifting.
Every truck stop, from Montana to Minnesota, knows about Big Hank's love for the long haul. But only his optometrist, Dr. Gary, knows about his love of reading romance novels before bed. Shopco Optical. Big Hank focused since 1996. People focused since 1978.
To everyone who values tradition, what does tradition mean to you?
Our family's been doing fish fry here for years.
At Culver's, we make our fish fry the way tradition deserves.
Hand battered, right here in the restaurant.
Right here. Right here.
The food here never disappoints.
And the best part, we get to sit and enjoy the company. Hey.
Helping you spend time with your family, it's what we're all about.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Can your floor stand up to this? At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. You need a flooring that can stand up to mud, cuts, and a crew like this. Don't sacrifice beauty for function. We'll help you find the perfect flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come in and see our huge selection of luxury vinyl and tile. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley, where our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Right now, get over $7,300 total value on this 2026 Chevy Silverado. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
I met my abuser when I was 10. He was my Sunday school teacher. At 18, I was pressured to marry him. Chris Taylor was the first person to stand up for me. She worked with both parties and with law enforcement to pass laws to protect survivors like me. Chris listened, and my abuser went to prison. On the Supreme Court, Judge Chris Taylor will continue to protect Wisconsin.
Judge Chris Taylor, protecting our rights, defending our freedoms.
Business owners, are you tired of running out of supplies? Ace Hardware of La Crosse is the helpful place with the products your business needs when you need it. We service businesses of all sizes. Ask about volume discounts. Contact Jim to set up your service account today.
All right, well, good morning to you as we get into your local forecast. Current temperatures right now still hovering in the low 30s to the middle 30s in your forecast, giving you this. We have a little bit of extra cloud cover for La Crosse, overcast conditions right now. Taking it up to Menominee, you're looking at 36 degrees right now. Feels like 31 degrees on your skin. 10 miles of visibility. A lot of folks are showing that today. You go back into Eau Claire. Not much moving in the flag right now, but we're holding on to folks that are starting their morning commute, and they seem to be doing quite well. We'll take it over to Winona. You have some fog out in the distance there. Well out in the distance, you can see it hovering just behind the trees there. We're still holding on to 10 miles of visibility, so it's patchy fog at best. We'll go right back into Onalaska, 31 degrees for you. feels like 31 degrees. Folks are doing pretty well on the roads as well, and they are dry. We'll also see city cam. You're looking out there right now in the distance. Overcast conditions, as I mentioned before. A little break in the cloud field there. You can see a little extra sunshine peeking through right now. Fog is patchy fog's trying to develop there. You know, I've got cross over the freezing rainfall, but I noticed that Prairie du Chien picked up at least a few hundredths of an inch or so. Areas by Boscobel as well also picked up maybe a trace. Holding on to temperatures that'll be in the 40s today. Then once you go into your Wednesday, you're looking at some middle 40s, upper 40s to at least the 50s in the forecast there. We'll get into rainfall once again as we roll right into your Thursday, all the way into Friday as well with the big day there. 90% chance of rainfall pretty much all day and night, giving way to at least Saturday for the morning showers, going into your sunny skies. We'll call it partly cloudy skies, possibly for Sunday and Monday, where temperatures are in the 50s and the 60s. All right, lows this morning, as I already mentioned, you're looking at 30s, pretty much the low to middle 30s in the forecast, 29 out there as you get into areas down to the south. Holding on to Winona, you've got the fog, as I mentioned before. Other locations up in Eau Claire, similar conditions, but you've got that rain and a mix of ice as well. That too is now gone, thankfully. No spotty holes of any type of ice on the ground for anyone. We'll give way to all this as we go right through the morning hours, then get into a break in the sunshine field as we go into the 9 o'clock hour. Temperatures widespread in the 30s, some 40s pop in as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. Snowfall, I should say rainfall is kind of kicked out well to the lake, and then eventually clouds, well, they start to increase. Why is that? Because we have possibilities of more rainfall trying to sneak back into the forecast as well as we go right into the early morning, I should say the late morning, going into your excuse me, into the PM hours. Once you get into the Wednesday evening, going to the midnight hours by Prairie du Chien, possible with a little match of snowfall trying to get back in the forecast for early morning portions of your Thursday. Then that gives away to a 20% to 30% chance of that occurring. So we get some sunshine to prevail. Milder conditions will resume. We'll hold on to Tuesday's highs from 40s, pretty much widespread. Then we'll go right back into how this all shapes up for La Crosse's planner. You're also going to be seeing 30s in the overnight hours, giving way to sunshine for the 8 o'clock hour. Eau Claire will follow suit as well. 8 o'clock in the morning, you're looking at some sunshine coming back again for tomorrow. Then holding on to the possibility of Wednesday's highs, 40s, 50s in the forecast now, popping in. Maybe a little chance of freezing drizzle to at least a little light rainfall in the forecast down to the south by Prairie du Chien. Holding on to Thursday's highs, you've got a low chance of rainfall. It's only about a 30% chance of that happening, but Friday's a different story. That becomes a 90% chance moving into the forecast with temperatures in the 50s widespread to the middle 60s. Yeah, you gotta love that, right? Holding on to the possibility of this, though, as you go into the next few days, you have temperatures going into your Saturday and Sunday for the weekend, 50s with some 60s mixed in there as well. Monday, you have milder conditions as well, upper 50s, so more 60s in the forecast for you, with partly cloudy skies, giving way to Tuesday, where you're looking at a 50% chance, holding on to the possibility of 60 degrees for your high for La Crosse. Get out and enjoy that if you can, and have a wonderful day.
Well, new this morning, dust off Grandma's recipe box. A local church wants your vintage dishes. Julie Nelson from Coon Valley Lutheran Church joins us with those details. Good morning to you, Julie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you brought an assortment of really interesting stuff. We're excited to get into that. Tell us, first of all, what is a retro dinner and what inspired the event?
Well, a retro dinner is where people can bring vintage recipes that they have made and prepared and bring them for sort of a potluck style dinner at our church. People do not have to make food to come and eat food, but it's a wonderful way to showcase some of those older recipes that maybe grandma or your aunt had made and passed down to you. What inspired the event is, for recent years, our church has had a potluck dinner for our annual meeting every year, where people bring prepared dishes. And some people have mentioned that certain dishes are classics, or maybe they weren't familiar with before. And I thought to myself, it would be kind of fun to do something different and have people create and make these vintage recipes for a potluck dinner at our church. Churches are great at preparing like fish dinners, meatball suppers, pancake breakfasts, but this might be something new that I hadn't heard any church doing in the area. So we created a committee, people jumped on board, and here we are. We're very excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds very fun.
Yeah, my dad used to be a Reverend, and he used to make gumbo. They're like, Rev, you bring some gumbo for this time? What are you hoping that folks will bring?
Well, that would be wonderful if somebody brought that. You are welcome to come. But any recipe, really, we're looking for a variety of people that may have that from their family background, or maybe they have an old cookbook sitting around. Some of the cookbooks that we have, you know, are just wonderful classics filled with recipes. So any of those we're looking forward to. We're hoping that we see some desserts. We're hoping that, and one of the dessert examples is maybe rosettes, which is a classic Norwegian
these
dessert.
are beautiful too. Hopefully we can see these on camera. And it looks like this comes from this, right? Is this what you use to make the rosettes with?
Yes, it is.
Very interesting. So that's kind of another vintage method.
Yes, it is. And we are going to have some of these things on display. Vintage items, so when people are sitting there, it will give them some discussion.
Very cool.
And we also have a display table that we're going to have with some of these classic items, and we're going to have someone sitting there, so if people have questions, someone can probably explain to them what it may have been used for or some of the history behind it.
Right on, some good food and good conversation. I grew up with this cookbook, by the way.
Really? He said he recognized this. This is a Betty Crocker. I'm sure that's a classic one, right?
Yeah.
Lots of stuff will come
These
from
dishes
there.
are gonna make me miss my mom.
Yes. Again, Art, you're welcome to come.
And it is Sunday. We've got the
Both of you.
information up on the screen too. So it is Sunday from 11 to 1. Info up on the screen there. And so you don't need to bring a dish, but you do get a little bit of a discount if you bring one.
Yes. What is more vintage than a coupon?
Yeah.
So if you do bring a prepared dish, you can check in with us in the kitchen. And what we will do is write down the name of your dish. And we're going to have these cards available. So if someone going through the potluck line might not recognize it,
they'll know what
it will
is.
have the name on it. But for bringing in that dish, you'll get a $5 coupon off one admission. So for adults, a $10 admission, you get a $5 coupon off of that. So again, what's more vintage than a coupon?
Yes, love it. Okay, well,
and we
that's
also
great.
have some of the fun things that we're going to do is we have these vintage inspired napkins.
Okay.
Remember the old library books and how you could check that out?
Yeah. All right. So you're going all in with the theme.
Yes.
All right. And before we go here, do people need to get tickets in advance, or how do they do that?
No, they can just show up the day of at the church and just get in line, and we will sell the ticket to you. And then if you're not familiar with our church, we'll direct you where to go, and all are welcome. We're just really looking forward to a lot of community, camaraderie, and a lot of stories. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time. Based on what you brought today, it looks fabulous. If you need some inspiration, we've got a lot of the Jell-O salads up on the screen.
Yes.
Anything you would say quickly to encourage the community to attend?
I think it's just a fun way to get together. We don't often get to do that a lot anymore, and it's just a nice way to get together where I think people will feel very welcome if they come, and they'll certainly be able to enjoy some really great food. We also have punch from a old-fashioned punch bowl available, so it will just be some really interesting things to see and enjoy.
Okay, well, sounds great. Thank you again for being here, Julie.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
While you're busy, your pup can play all day at Top Dog Retreat in West Salem. Safe, supervised fun with friends, plus plenty of exercise and love. Because a tired dog is a happy dog. Top Dog Retreat, a bark above the rest.
Stock up and save big at Menards. All prices are value after rebate. Get a 4-pack of USB charging cables, just $2.97. Dawn dish soap is only $4.79. 36-ounce Italian-style beef is just $9.99. A 40-pound bag of wild bird food, only $13.96. Hurry, these great deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer, plus exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, Dominic here to ask, do you love salt but need to cut back on all that sodium? Mini Salt by Pleasing is the answer, and it's recommended by doctors and dietitians for those on low sodium diets. It tastes like regular salt but with so much less sodium. Use it just like your table salt. Great on corn on the cob, tomatoes, watermelon, and yeah, you could even use it on French fries and everything else you love to salt. Be sure to get your Mini Salt by Pleasing and 40 other blends at the Pleasing Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. Get out of here.
Another day, same pain, same meds, same struggling for symptom relief. Injections like Humira and Enbrel work similarly to treat moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis. But if your symptoms haven't improved enough, Rinvoq works differently. It's a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve RA and PSA joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, as fast as 2 weeks for some. Even after 3 years, many people felt this relief. In PSA, Rinvoq can leave skin noticeably clearer.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Do something different. Ask your doctor if switching to Rinvoq is right for you.
At Top Dog Retreat in West Salem, skip the mess and hassle at home. Our climate-controlled self-serve dog wash is open 24 hours to keep your dog clean, dry, and ready for their next adventure. Top Dog Retreat, a bark above the rest.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time.
Welcome back. It's 6:54. Time for your morning news now. President Trump expected to brief lawmakers on the ongoing war in Iran today. The latest is 6 U.S. servicemen have been killed. U.S. Central Command said new strikes have taken out key Iranian military sites, though Iran's retaliatory hits have also spread in the region. The president says operations will continue till Iran's missile capabilities, nuclear ambitions, and navy are all destroyed. Wisconsin National Guard troops are in the Middle East, stationed in Kuwait and Iraq. The military says the Guard is deployed in support of ongoing operations, and that includes Operation Epic Fury.
The integrated Reserve and National Guard forces have continued to demonstrate the value of America's reserve forces, including the Wisconsin Army National Guard operating in Kuwait and Iraq.
Kane also mentioned Guard units from Vermont and Virginia are there. Happening today, the JNA voting to tighten tobacco product sales. The new ordinance would update local law to match state law, mostly enforcing the minimum age of 21 to buy or possess tobacco products. It'll also spell out where and when cigarettes, vaping devices, and other products can be sold. Today is World Wildlife Day, and a Maryland Girl Scout troop of first graders got a head start participating in an interactive workshop about wildlife conservation. And if you would like to celebrate the day, you can send donations to Humane World for Animals, formerly Humane Society of the United States, to help end animal cruelty. All right, great job to them.
All right, in our local forecast, we get into how this all shapes up, my friends. We're looking at that light rainfall, a mix of ice as well, and snowfall kind of mixing out of the way. We'll hold on to low impact for your morning commute because of that freezing rainfall. I have quotes in the air right now. Holding on to 40s and then 40s and 50s. We roll right into today and tomorrow. Then rainfall comes back again for Thursday all the way into Friday and Saturday, and then sunshine prevails for Sunday and Monday of next week.
Okay, a big X over the freezing rain. On to the next thing.
Right.
Thank you, Art. Thank you for waking up with us. We will see you back here at noon.